Welcome to TradingPub.com's morning report. Real quick before we get started, give you a standard risk disclaimer. As you know, when you start talking about futures and options products, there is substantial risk involved. We're not making any kind of recommendations here, just kind of going over some thoughts over some of the different markets that we watch throughout the week. All right, here's a look at the S&P futures market, and as you can see, it has definitely been a little bit of a rough ride for the markets since we put in that high up at 1468. You saw the markets basically put in the new high over the previous day after a large up move from the 1400 area. They consolidated for a bit, traded down, came back up, and made a lower high on this bar at 1466 and have since pretty much been down every day. We had a eked out a positive close there, but so far this morning at the early part of today we were actually looking negative. You saw the markets trade down below the 1420 level, which is a key area of support, and have come back now. We're currently trading at 1429.75. A couple key areas that we're really going to watch here is this 30 to 33 area and then 1442 on the S&Ps. Again, that's going to be an important area to watch. We do have some earnings this week. We've got Coca-Cola, Goldman Sachs, Johnson & Johnson, Intel coming out on the 16th, followed by Bank of America, U.S. Bancorp, American Express, and eBay on the 17th. So again, we've got some financial earnings that can definitely have an effect on the market. One of the main things that we're watching this week, though, and is important to keep an eye on, is a stock that everyone has loved this year, which is Apple. And you see that Apple, which is kind of, in our opinion, over the past couple years, the stock that could do no wrong. You know, just look at this unbelievable chart from the 400 area. We ran up, obviously, all the way to 640. The market then declined. It came back down all the way to about 515. So if you look at that move, we had dropped from 640 down to about 515. So you had about 120, 130 point move. And then you saw the rally back. We put in a new high up at 705.07. And you have not seen the stock come down 100 points yet. So if you think about it, the last big down move was about a 120 point move. So far, we have not seen that type of reaction. You know, we expect to see some pretty good support in Apple at the 620 area. Obviously, 600 is going to be a psychological area, but if you go back and look, you'll notice from July we had lots of resistance here at 619, 620, and so again we kind of built the top there, came back down, you had the gap, and then obviously it filled and went higher. So we'll watch that 620 really as a close area. You see that we came down and tested that area a couple times. We've come down to 627 several times, 623, and so we'll keep a close eye on this area. But really, we're watching 620 as a big support area on Apple. If Apple breaks 620, then obviously that will not bode well for the overall market. So Apple has been a major leading stock, probably the leading stock. And if we start to see that break the 620 area, that'll be important to watch. Now, historically, this Monday has actually been a pretty bullish day over the past 25 years, according to Stock Traders Almanac, but you saw an open down and then the market start to rally following that, so we'll keep a close eye on that. But just wanted to touch base on those two stocks, and then another thing to keep in mind, you know, this is election season. And so with the debates coming up this week, you know, we'll continue to see some volatility in the markets as changes go on throughout the election over the next couple weeks. Here's kind of an interesting thing. If you just want to keep track of kind of what the markets are saying as far as the election goes, you can go to intrade.com. It's www.intrade.com. And this is the contract on President Obama winning re-election. You see that obviously early September it had topped out close to 80%. And the way that InTrade works, basically it trades from 0 to 100, and we came back down. Now it's trading around 60%. So I'm sure this will be a very volatile contract, but it's kind of a fun thing to watch just to kind of see what people are thinking for the market as far as the presidential election. All right, everyone, hope that you enjoyed this event, and feel free to join us. We've got a couple of big events going on this week at the Trading Pub. Tomorrow at 3:30, Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 Eastern, we'll be joined by Steve Place of InvestingWithOptions.com. And then on Thursday, we've got a big event scheduled to kick off at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central, where we're going to host 3 top traders to talk about trading techniques in the market. So you can learn more about our events, tradingpub.com, and click on the events tab at the very top. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.